Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, a animated series that ran on Nickelodeon from 2005 to 2008. And in Avatar: The Last Airbender, it deals with an airbender named Aang, who is the Avatar. He is this guy that only occurs once in every generation that is able to bend all four elements. And after disappearing for 100 years, he now is stuck in this situation where there is a centuries-long war going on between the Fire Nation and pretty much everyone else. He is, as the title suggests, the last airbender alive, and now he has to master all four elements and stop the Fire Nation. Okay, so to get things started, first and foremost, this show is almost 20 years old, and there's kind of a reason why it's largely considered the greatest animated series ever made. Because really, there's barely anything wrong with the show. Because here's one thing, while it may have been, yes, made for kids, there is things in this show that everyone will like. Regardless of if you're an elderly person, a grown adult, anything like that. It's one of the few shows that I remember watching as a kid that I know for a fact that my parents even enjoyed watching. Because, and this is the first real positive I have about the show, there is great storytelling in this show. You have this little kid who, throughout the process of this show, has to essentially mature rather quickly and also master all of these elements within a quicker period of time than any other Avatar in history has, because this Fire Lord Ozai, is just threatening the world completely. And not only that, but upon this most recent rewatch, I realized that literally every episode has something insanely important going on in it. Even episodes that on paper might just be filler, there is something going on that these characters learn from. And it also introduces characters that later on will become very important to the story. Also, what about the characters? The characters are all just fantastic. You have Aang, who's the Avatar, the main character. He is, he's a kid. He is young, he is just silly. But as the show progresses, he matures significantly into this heroic role. He still keeps his silly edge, it's just that maturity happens. You also have Sokka and Katara, who are brother and sister. Sokka, he is this pun guy. He loves his puns, he loves his dad jokes. But also at the same time, he is a fully capable fighter. And as the show progresses, just like Aang, he has this character development where he grows into a leader. A true leader. His sister Katara, who's a waterbender, she also matures a lot throughout the show. She starts off as just a young girl who, is trying to learn waterbending, however sucks at it. But by the end of the show, she's probably one of the best waterbenders in the series, so there's that. But also some of the villainous characters like Zuko. Zuko is just insane. What they did with Zuko is awesome, because when you're introduced to him, you think he's going to be the main bad guy. He's not. Ozai is the main bad guy. Zuko is just simply a good person who's on the wrong side of the war. As the show progresses, he matures, and he starts to, question, hey, am I even on the right side here? And Ozai is just a beast, okay? You rarely see him, but when you do, he is just this intense presence. Heck, they don't even show his actual face, until the final season. This show also has some of the best world building and lore I have ever seen in a TV show. The concept of the bending of the four elements while in some ways it wasn't new, how they handled it, how they portrayed it, that was new. They used actual martial arts for the show in order to portray the bending of the elements, which is like this magical thing where you can manipulate the elements around you. Waterbenders can manipulate water, earthbenders, earth, airbenders, air, firebenders, fire. These people can control and manipulate these elements, and then you have the Avatar, who, like I said, there's only one in every generation. He can manipulate and control all four. And the series finale of this show is single-handedly probably one of the best series finales in history. It's intense, it is impactful, it can be a little emotional sometimes, and by the end of the whole thing, it's just fulfilling. And this show, with how it handled things, it did not treat kids as if they were stupid. Yes, they couldn't directly address stuff like death, but they at least made it when a character goes into a situation where no one could have survived it, there's at least this implication. Like, there's this one particular event in season 1 where a character, you get the implication, drowns to death. Honestly, 7-year-old me watching it understood that he died. Again, while they couldn't directly address stuff like that, they at least did not treat kids like idiots and sit there and say, well, kids don't understand death, so hey, let's not kill anyone off. Because there are a few instances where, like I said, you get the implication that these things happen. Not only that, but the show does progressively get a lot darker as it goes. Season 1 was kind of like this fun, happy, lighthearted season. Season 3, on the other hand, got pretty dark. Season 3, the final season, yeah, it gets pretty dark in that season. Guys, at the end of the day, Avatar: The Last Airbender, there is a reason why this show is considered the greatest animated series of all time. Yes, it was made for kids, but they don't treat kids like they're stupid. And not only that, but there are things in this show that a grown adult will like. As a matter of fact, much as I loved Avatar: The Last Airbender as a kid, I probably love it even more as an adult. This show has great storytelling, great characters, incredible lore. Also, the fight sequences are insane in a good way. Honestly, I would prefer my kids watching this show over anything playing for kids these days. Because Avatar: The Last Airbender deserves a 10. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Budgetski will return.